So the debt ceiling is going to destroy the housing market, guys. It's going to make it so unaffordable that there will almost be a standstill if the debt ceiling isn't raised. At least that's what a lot of experts are saying. We're going to dive deep into this, and you're going to get my opinion on what you should be doing and what will happen with this debt ceiling. My name is Orlando. Welcome to the channel, guys. This is information you need to see and information you need to listen to because this is very important. Please hit the like and subscribe button. It is very crucial to this channel growing. Look at the descriptions, have a bunch of things in there also. This debt ceiling thing is getting out of hand.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
It is getting crazy here, but let's talk about exactly what the debt ceiling is, guys. The debt ceiling is here. Like, this is just gonna make it very simple. The debt ceiling is also known as debt limit. It is the maximum amount of money that the U.S. Treasury can borrow. Increasing the debt ceiling allows the Treasury to borrow funds to pay the government obligations that has already been incurred as a result of law and budgets approved by the president and Congress. Now, let's just make this really simple, guys. In layman's terms, what is it? Imagine if you have to pay a utility bill. You've already used what the utility company has already charged you for. That's the reason why you have a bill. Now, let's just say that you're using a credit card to pay that bill, and you're now maxed out on that credit card. You're gonna go back to the credit card company and ask them to raise your limit so that you can pay your utility bill. And if that's the only way you can pay your utility bill, you're about to have no power. Because the utility company will turn off your power if you do not pay them.
Payback's a mother, ain't it?
That is essentially what's happening with this debt ceiling. If the debt ceiling isn't raised, we can't pay our obligations, which means certain things will happen and get shut off. Military pay, Social Security, all these things that people need, 100% we will not be able to pay. And that is going to be catastrophic for everyone.
Wait, what?
It doesn't matter about the housing market. It doesn't matter if you're in the stock market. It's all going to be bad. So what is this specifically going to do to the housing market? Because that's the question, guys. How the debt ceiling fight could devastate the housing market. The default would shake up financial markets, including the yield on the 10-year treasury bond, which mortgage rates often move. In the event of a default, mortgage rates could rise as high as 8.4% according to Zillow. Well, I think it's gonna get worse than that. I actually do. I think that it could go as high as 9% if the debt ceiling wasn't raised. It's gonna be to the point where no one will want to buy a house because of the sticker shock when it comes to, not because of the prices of the home, because we're already there. The prices of the home are already high, right? And people are already having that sticker shock. But the sticker shock of monthly payments will skyrocket because remember, a year and a half ago, we were at 3-4%. And to go straight to 9%, it's going to be very, very unaffordable on a interest rate level, on a monthly basis level, and no one will want to do that. Imagine sellers now. Sellers right now do not want to be in your situation where they are now having to look for a home and they have to pay 9%. Imagine that. They're not going to move at all. They're going to think to themselves,
Nah, I mean, unless you want to pay me $200,000 over asking, then I'll go ahead and take that 9%. But if you're asking me to sell a house to you at market value and interest rates are at 9%, nah, I'm good. I'm not doing that.
and that's what's going to happen if the debt ceiling isn't raised. When it comes to interest rates, now here's a real big question that I know you're thinking right now.
Orlando, what will happen to prices?
Well, prices will definitely go down. Imagine this. Demand stops. What happens to homes when demand stops? We already seen this. This isn't a brand new movie, guys. We have seen this happen before. When demand is low, prices will drop also. And so this is no secret that prices will drop. By how much? It really depends on your area. We say this all the time on this channel. Real estate is local. You have to look at your local market. I promise you, if you just look at the West Coast of what's going on the West Coast right now versus what's going on the East. It's vastly different. Austin, Boise, San Francisco, all these areas are vastly different than if you were to go somewhere in Florida, in the South or something like that. It is vastly different. Hence the reason why I always tell you, sit on the the sidelines with a purpose. You have to sit on the sidelines and do your research. Make sure you're looking at listings and things every day when it comes to your local market and what you want to pay and what prices you're looking for. Because that pricing situation when it comes to sellers could happen right underneath your nose and you don't know it because you weren't paying attention. Also remember, guys, your situation isn't everyone's situation. Your situation of,
You know what? I'm gonna do XYZ.
in a seller situation of, oh man, I gotta move out of here because I got this brand new job across the country and I have to sell the house now. So remember that just because you're waiting does not mean a seller will be sitting around deciding not to sell and waiting for this craziness to stop either. Everybody's situation is different. And then it goes on to say, even the fear of the default could impact mortgage rates. A guy from Zillow said, if we really get right up to the 11th hour and it's looking like a real possibility, then those jitters could enter a long-term debt market. Now, guys, we've been talking about this and I want to just make this perfectly clear. We do not want the debt ceiling to not be raised. We do not want that. I promise you, you do. You do not want that, guys.
It's not good.
It will be craziness. I'm talking about prices dropping from stocks to real estate to inflation shooting through the roof. It's not going to be great. It's not going to just be the housing market goes down and everything stays normal. It's not going to be that. If the debt ceiling is not raised, everything collapses.
Oh, damn.
That means jobs.
Somebody had to go.
That means inflation goes up higher. That means gas prices go up higher. That means every single thing goes up higher. And we already know things are already expensive. We want to focus on prices coming down so you can get an affordable home. We don't want to focus on you not having a house, a car, no groceries. We don't want to go into the depression. So I want to make this perfectly clear. I don't want to go into a situation where the debt ceiling isn't raised and we can't pay our bills as a country. I do not want that. I want to make that clear. I do want prices to come down on homes, but I don't want to destroy everything to get to it. I don't want you to lose your job. I don't want you to have to go buy $10 apples. I do not want that. So the question is
Orlando, where are we going with this debt ceiling? Is the debt ceiling going to be raised? Are they not going to do it? What is the issue here? What do you think is going to happen?
well, look, this is my thing, guys. I have said this over and over again. All you have to look at for majority, not every single time, because it's not a perfect science, is look at the history. Look at the past, guys. And what has happened in the past? Debt ceilings have been raised and raised and raised and raised. We have constantly been raising the debt ceiling forever, it seems. And every single time we get to this same situation, the 11th hour, the debt ceiling catastrophe. It's almost like the Y2K scenario.
About both the reality and the potential effects of Y2K.
Oh man, as soon as it hits the year 2000, everything's gonna just blow up.
At the stroke of midnight, January 1st, 2000, elevators may stop.
In that scenario, we hear every single time when it comes to this debt ceiling. And what do they do every single time? They raise it. They raise it. Why? Because they understand the horrible things that will happen if we don't raise the debt ceiling. And this is what I like to look at, guys. Do you think these congressmen and women and all these politicians, what do they all have in common? They're part of the system too.
Sensational.
Do you think these guys are going to risk all of their investments in stocks and all this other stuff that they have and see them almost drop by 50% or more? All their housing and everything that they own and have made these guys rich. Do you think they're going to self-sabotage that and put all of that at risk to go down to worthless nothing? No, guys, they're not going to do that. They're not going to put themselves at risk and implode and blow themselves up because these politicians are greedy. They didn't work this hard to get to this point just to self-sabotage themselves. They're not going to do that. They're not gonna do that, guys. So in my opinion, guys, this is just political theater that these guys are doing to push whatever agenda that they're trying to push, to get what programs and that they want to get pushed and cut programs that they want to cut. They're doing this all in self-interest. It's political theater to get what they want, guys. And yes, they are using the economy to get what they want and putting you guys as the taxpayer, me too, on the line and using this as a carrot. If you don't do what we're gonna do, we're gonna blow up everything.
This is America.
But they have to remember they're citizens too, guys. And I want you guys to remember that too. They will not implode and blow up themselves. So I'm just gonna sit back, watch the theater, and then watch, them come up to a plan and say,
Yeah, guys, we came up with a plan and we're gonna save you all.
we're gonna save you all, when they already knew that they weren't gonna let the debt ceiling expire, guys. So as normal, guys, I hope you got value out of this content. You won't get all of your information from this one video. I need you to watch this next video here. It will give you all the information you need in housing market, financial news, get into your first rental property, and I promise you the information you will get from there will be gold, guys. Make sure you check it out. See you on the next one. Thanks.